Crypto has been in a bear market for some time now. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how the bear market is going to end. So crypto, has been bearish ever since, you could argue in and around that kind of October time. I would say it's since these crossed bearish. So in and around, mid-November, crypto's been in a bearish state, and it's been the same across Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all those major coins, and a couple others as well. So, 90%, 95% of crypto coins are in this sort of bearish trend. So a really simple way that I'm going to be looking for is, number one, a weekly market structure break. Now, we've not had one on Bitcoin since we didn't have one there, and we're trying to have one now, but, we're kind of wicking into it, which is a sign of, continued strength or continuous chop. So as you can see here, we've not really been bullish. We broke down there, and we've been bearish ever since, that November week. So for me, in the first thing I'll be looking for is, okay, cool, can we get above there? Or if we do get a new low, can we break above again? That'll be the first sign. Same on every coin and same on every chart. All right, you don't have an opinion, but that's something I would be looking for. Another thing I would be looking for is a high time frame moving average crossover, more of a slower thing, to be observing. So as you can see here, I've got the 12 and the 21 weekly EMA. As you can see here, these stayed pretty much bullish all the way through here. You had a slight crossover there. They did hold there. And then they crossed. A really easy way. You can literally just say to yourself, if these are bullish and facing, upwards to the right, we're bullish. And it's a really good way of kind of taking out emotions and taking out opinions. And the same goes for ETH. ETH's a bit more interesting. Like, ETH had a bit of a stranger cycle. It's almost been like this huge high time frame range. And I spoke about this in another video. You want to see not Bitcoin, ETH looks like it's found a floor there. Be interested to see kind of, does it come down and retest that level? That wouldn't be amazing. But, ETH is just in pretty much a high time frame range. We've got the total cap here. The total cap did go up, but you could argue that's just through, market cap inflation. And this pretty much does copy the BTC chart. But same applies here. You'd be looking for a weekly market structure break just above there. And then, you'd be looking for them to cross and so on. Another thing I would be looking for is, if we go here on Sol, is I would be looking for a, monthly market structure break. So as you can see here, Sol kind of, tagged that high. It's a bit more interesting on Sol because you could say we broke it there. We kind of, then we kind of came up, and then it's been just red month. I've not even looked at Sol like this in a while. It's been red month after red month after red month. You'd be looking for, at least maybe, I would assume, maybe a green month here, bang, and then a little break there. That would be some sign of strength. But Sol's pretty beaten down. It's going to be interesting to see where Sol does go from here. So for me, they'd be easy ones. Monthly market structure breaks. If we go to Ethereum, again, can we get above there? Bitcoin, can we get back above there? They are pretty easy things to be looking out for. But what I would be looking for, though, more so, is which coins are showing strength in this bear market or throughout 2026. And a coin that, is an example of this is VVV. So as you can see here, if we go on the weekly, this has been a coin that has shown strength. And there's not much chart history to go off of. But these coins showing more strength in the bear market, you would assume that moving forward, they're going to, continue to perform well. So in my opinion, it would be weekly market structure breaks, monthly market structure breaks, weekly or, a high time frame moving average crossover. Again, I think the daily's got too much noise, but the daily could be maybe your very early trigger. And I'd also be looking out for coins which are showing good strength. I believe Hype is another one, although that looks like it's breaking down a little bit. Zcash, again, potentially another one. But this is probably one that caught my eye as this is really kind of, showing strength, especially this week here as the time recording. So, look, in my opinion, it would be look for those market structure breaks, look for the high time frame moving average crossovers. There's no point in calling bottoms and tops or this is the end of the bear market. They're your confirmations. And they can, you could say, oh, but when they happen, that's, I'm going to be too late. I'm going to be late to the party. but you'd expect to have a sustained trend when they do cross like that. And if you got in there, well, you would have been, a nice trade there. So, and you see that time and time again on all these. We go back onto Bitcoin. If you just waited for all that cross there, I mean, you had all of that run kind of, going up to like this area, right? So when these happen, yeah, you can get chop and you can get some noise, but, you could even argue that was a bit of chop and noise, but, come out of there, you would expect something to be bullish. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you do want to keep up to date markets, I do have a free newsletter. Link to that will be in the description. I'll see you in the next one.